Hey there, this is Joe McNamee. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a author, a father, a retired military officer. Um, I've done so many different types of things in construction, residential, commercial, and industrial. I've got a little bit of experience, a little over 5 decades of experience. So I want to reveal to you my new Force Your Success program. So what this program is it's a mentoring program, but it's on a major dose of steroids. So it's a little different. I I want to say about oh gosh, maybe 10 years ago, I discovered that people were going to information marketing companies and learning real estate investing. And I saw so many people being led or misled, and the person who was doing the mentoring, the mentor, I swear half the time they didn't realize that they were misleading the person because they just didn't understand it well enough themselves. And so when I discovered all that stuff going on, I had been doing real estate for decades before I'd seen any of that stuff, and my family had been doing it. Before that, I grew up in a world of real estate and investing, and you know, mentoring is really, really powerful, and as long as it's being used properly. And I've seen a lot of people that get mentoring, but they're getting mentoring from people who are trying to figure out how to sell them something else and sell them something else. So I'm going to show you what this program is about, and I'm going to show you how I came up with this program. So the first thing that happened to me is, I had been doing real estate for so long, and then I started teaching others how to do what it is that I've been doing with real estate for decades. And so the first thing I did was I started bringing them to my office operation and having them watch me do my deals right in front of their face, so that they could, number one, realize that I knew what I was talking about, even though I wasn't standing 2 feet above the rest of the crowd on a stage in some room where people are just trying to sell you crap. But the second thing is for them to realize how easy it is to accomplish doing real estate investing if you have the right mentor. So I'm stopping doing a lot of deals in my area because my true passion is I love to work with others. I love to teach people how to do real estate, and I love to help enrich their lives and help them enrich many people's lives that they can touch. So I feel like I'm doing the most good out of that. Now, am I making money doing what I'm doing? Of course I am, but it's nothing like the highway robbery that I see going on out there. So I'm not doing as many deals as I used to, so that then now that I can spend more time with my students on their deals. Okay, so the question in your mind should be, what do you need to grow your wealth? What is it that's holding you back? Is it real estate? Is your business about real estate, or is your business about something that connects to real estate that we can increase your revenue, your wealth from just by tweaking a couple of little things that you need tweaked so that you can then do or accomplish more, receive more wealth from the deals that you're connected with, whether they're yours or someone else's. Okay, so let me just share a little bit of some stories here with you. These are going to be short stories. They're just a little basic understanding of just a few people. And I was sitting here and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I've got to give some examples of what's happened for just a few of the people that I've helped here. So Brandy, first I'm going to talk about is Brandy. She's a stay-at-home mom. She is not interested in working any kind of full hours whatsoever in real estate. She's a semi-limited kind of sort of part-time real estate investor. So that's Brandy. She just wanted to be able to be at home, raise her kids. Her husband has a business of his own, a different type of business, and she helps him a little bit with that as well. But she wanted the flexibility to not have to go punch a time clock and be under the control of some corporation out there. All right, Jeff. Jeff is an entrepreneur. Jeff is in construction, heavy into construction, and Jeff knows that in construction, when you get to a certain age and you stop being able to do construction, there's no benefits, there's no retirement, there's no nothing. So Jeff decided that he wanted to start doing real estate deals so that he could start building his portfolio of wealth or of a retirement plan. So Jeff is not a guy that goes and punches a time clock, but he does do, works from sun up to sundown type thing with doing construction. Maybe it's just doing some roof repair or what have you on other people's places. And then he started doing his own deals. So he's building quite a great list of houses that will eventually be a really solid retirement plan for him. Heather was a full-time college student, her and her boyfriend both. So Heather's passion is not to do real estate at all. She is more into managing parks, whether there's federal, state, county parks, where she's working with people, teaching them about cultural differences, changes in society as society has grown, dealing with animals, dealing with nature. She's more into the ranger type stuff and the management of parks and lakes and all that kind of stuff. Chris is a guy that punches a clock. He's under the control of the man at a major business, a major corporation he works for, and he makes decent money. But Chris does not want to be a slave to that environment. So Chris is looking to change that. So Chris takes part in building airplanes. So he's started with me now just a little bit on the side to start building a package for himself that makes it to where it will replace his income from his corporate job that he has. Megan is a college professor. She used real estate to put herself all the way through school, and then she uses real estate to kind of add to her income of teaching. Now, Megan doesn't want to teach kids. She likes teaching adults. But Megan's calling in life is to teach. She used to think she wanted to be an attorney until her first year of college, and that's when everything clicked with her that she is better suited and more enjoying the fact of teaching people and bringing them to a whole new level, a higher level than where they were when they first met her. So she uses real estate to put herself through school and to do different things just to augment her income. Sheila works out of her house. She has a husband who is in the construction industry, and she helps him a little bit with his business. But Sheila focuses on her own real estate, and she focuses in the area of fitness as well. But Sheila wants that good, solid retirement plan shortly down the road when she gets to the age where she wants to just kick back and not have to do anything at all. Okay, and then there's Courtney. Courtney came to me as a young 19-year-old with no experience out there in the corporate world, the job world. She just got fresh out of high school. She had done the different things, working part-time with, different types of fast food restaurant and stuff like that. But Courtney quickly saw that she wanted to be able to retire when she was 25 years old if she wanted to. And when I say retire from the humdrum of having to work a real job or a regular job and be able to raise a family. And then maybe after the family's gone, she might jump back into it, or when the family is raised to a point where she has free time on her hands, then she might want to jump back into real estate. But Courtney is interested in making a good solid income that she doesn't need anyone else to help her live and all, but she's in this to be able to retire at a very, very early age in her 20s if she so desires to. Okay, so now let's kind of take a look at how those different ones have played out. So just a little snapshot of Brandy. Just in the first year, now that was Brandy's taxable income. That's her first year of working kind of sort of part-time real estate, sitting at the house, dealing with all the things that the kids, getting them to all their different games and sporting activities in school and projects and all that stuff, and helping other family members out, and then helping her husband with his business. So this was just what Brandy did just in the first year, not trying at all with real estate. Okay, Jeff Jeff has done a lot of different deals on his own. Now, these deals that I'm referring to are just the ones that I've helped them with. They've been able to do a lot of other things without me, but these are just the ones that I've helped them with. So Jeff, I've helped him with the mentoring program, the Force Your Success program, and that number is actually a whole lot higher, but I'm going to talk about that in just a few minutes here. Okay, Heather's been able to do about $100,000 worth of cash, equity, or structured income. Now remember those words, structured income. All right, Chris is the one working it, the building airplanes, and Chris has already done this amount right here, and Chris is just barely getting started. He has spent maybe a total of 6 months messing around, just kind of toying with. Like I said, he works a full-time job, and so he just has just a very little bit of time to put into this, per week. So very, very small amount of time. All right, Megan is the professor, and Megan has done a whole lot more than that. I mean, like I said, she put herself all the way through school, and she stopped at a master's. She didn't get a PhD. She should have gotten a PhD, but she didn't. But she stopped at that, which was plenty good enough, and it's done. It's punched the ticket that she wants to punch. So my hat's off to Megan for that. All right. Sheila is just getting started also. Sheila, Chris, and Courtney were the latest ones in my new and improved Force Your Success program, but not this latest one that I'm revealing to you right now. So Sheila has really, really, really set the world on fire for herself. There's so many things that all it takes is just a 20 or 30-minute phone call with something that she's thinking about doing, and poof, all of a sudden she's off and running again and full speed ahead. So I'm really proud of how she's doing. And then there's Courtney. Courtney is doing really well. She pays attention to everything she's told. She focuses on it. There's not a lot that a lot of people that can call my office and Courtney talk to them, and her have any kind of compassion for them and their excuses. She knows that if she wants it, it's there to be gotten, and she goes after it. So Courtney is just now 20 years old. I think she's 20 years and maybe 4 months or so. But anyway, so she just goes after it, and she understands, and she focused, and when it's time to involve me, she instantly involves me so that she can continue to up her income. So whatever you need help with, I am truly there. It's really hard for me to determine, just based on you listening to this webinar, what it is that we should be doing together. That's going to be something that we'll figure out over time with each other. But whatever it is that you need, I will be there for you so that you can improve your lifestyle, improve your health, put a good plan together, recover from buying the wrong types of training, whatever it takes. That was Chris's problem. Chris had bought a ton of stuff that just didn't work, and he felt like a fool out there, and then he discovered me. But if you need help with negotiating with your buyers or sellers, or you need me to just plain out do it, you're going to be on the phone, they're going to be on the phone, and I'm going to be on the phone. We're going to work this out and figure out exactly how to solve their problems for a fair profit. It might take some deal structuring that you may not be comfortable with or understand, or you might make some mistakes and structure the deal in such a way that a ton of money is left on the table and it didn't do your buyer or your seller any good as well. So structuring deals is a big part of it. Sometimes people get into the training programs and they take, Jumpstart Online Prime, and they hear all of it and they understand it, but then when they try to engage in doing it, they don't have quite the clarity that they thought they had once they tried to actually engage in some piece of this. And so that one-on-one clarity, that phone call, scheduled time, let's talk through this one piece right here, or 3 pieces, whatever it is that you need some clarity on, that's part of this whole program. If you need me to teach your attorney, many times I've gone on the phone to go in. Matter of fact, I've physically sat in front of some of my students' attorneys face to face and taught them what it is that they can do to work together so that my student makes money, the attorney makes money, and we together our combined effort is solving people's problems for a fair profit. It might be in your best interest, usually is, for me to study your area and figure out what it is that you should be doing in that area. And it might be something that you've never even heard of or realize it even exists, that would work good in your area and no one else knows it or is doing it. So me studying your area to figure out how to best monetize what you're doing and solve people's problems, again, for a fair profit. Okay, you might need me to look at your business deep into it if necessary, because you might start, set everything up and start trying to get it to go, and you pull the trigger on it, but nothing's happening. It's not firing. It's not making money. There's stumbling blocks that are happening. So me looking inside of your business could be something as simple as me listening to you talk to other people, me looking at your literature, your brochures, your websites, your business cards. There may be something that you've put on there that is counterproductive to what this is about. It could be the way that you've structured your business. It could be your voicemail that you have set up. It could be so many different things. So me looking into it, the marketing is really important to get that right. But again, like I said, it's a big question mark here. We don't know what it is that you're going to need until we start working together, and then I can see what's necessary, and also I can see opportunity lying in your area that most won't be able to pick up on. Okay, so with this program, there are bonuses that come with it. There's some advanced classes, and there's a direct letter marketing campaign with the results from that campaign. So it is extremely helpful to know about that and how to do it. All right, so let's go back and let's ask you some questions here. How many deals do you need? So if you look at a deal, and these numbers are different all over the place, but I just grabbed an average number in my area, which is not a very expensive area, but if you got a down payment of $7 grand and you got cash flow that's above what the place will cost you down the road after you have your buyer in place, if you're receiving, let's say you're paying out $1,000 a month and you're receiving $1,400 a month, then that $400 is your cash flow on that deal. All right, so let's just kind of take a look at a year's worth of those numbers right there. And by the way, those are extremely low numbers. So average down $7,000. So 1 month doing one deal per month. All right, that's $84,000 in your first year of money in your pocket. $400 positive cash flow per month over 1 year. That's $4,800 per month. So if you're doing one deal per month, putting just one house in place or one income producing piece of real estate in place with these numbers, you got 84 grand in your pocket. You got $4,800 every month coming in. So if you only did that one time per month for 1 year, you now have 84 grand in your pocket, and you have $4,800 of money, cash flow money coming in per month at the end of that 1 year. At the end of 1 month, you got $400. At the end of 2 months, you got $800 coming in every month. 3 months, and so forth and so on. So that is extremely powerful, and that income right there, it beats a lot of low income households that work their butts off 40 hours to 60 hours a week to receive that small amount of money right there. So what would that do for you? Now, what if you were able to engage a little bit better and be able to do 2 deals per month? just double the numbers, $168,000, $9,600 per month coming in. So it doesn't take very long to have a six-figure retirement income. If you look at the 2 deals per month that you do in the first year, at the end of that first year, you got $9,600 a month of cash flow. That means every month you're going to get that cash flow. Now that's the small pieces of the income that come from those kind of deals. There's much bigger parts of the income. But I want to go back to these words that I used for you earlier, the structured income. So you've got cash, there's $168,000. You got equity that's not discussed right here. That's different for every single house we do. So there'll be equity in each one of them. So if I'm responsible for $150,000 on that house, and I've got a structured deal where it's going to be $187,000 that I'm going to receive over time, and then I structure the income. If I do that structured income, then I make a tremendous amount of money off of these deals, solve the seller and the buyer's problems, and my buyers end up getting the properties for a much more reasonable price because we don't have to share our income with a lot of other people. We don't have to share it with realtors. We don't have to share it with loan originators. We don't have to share it with a lot of different people that can be involved in that world, that real estate investing world, if you don't know how to do the structured income part. Okay? All right, so what I did was I created an hourly rate. And if you're buying hours of time for me to work on your deals, when you buy that time, if you buy a small amount, obviously the price is much higher per hour. The more money, the more hours you buy at one time, the lower the price is per hour, so that you can then take advantage of a huge discount when you get all the way down to the bottom, which is where all of my original Force Your Success people are either doing or going to do. They already know the value. They've spent the money on Force Your Success. We've already honored the agreements there. But now I give you a $250 per hour discount by purchasing 50 hours. Will you use those 50 hours? If you don't sit on your butt, you will. And will you make a lot of money off of them? Yes. So in the old Force Your Success program, I've already talked to a few different people and asked them how many hours it would take for them to be able to earn back $17,500. And all of them were saying less than 2 to 3 hours. I mean, so they're able to make back the money that it cost them for 50 hours by utilizing maybe 2 to 3 hours. Now, let's say you're a slow learner or a slow starter. 10 hours is 3 times that amount of time. So being able to earn that money back, it should be able to be done with no problem whatsoever in 10 hours or less. Now, I am not you. I am me. I know what I can do. I do not know you yet. I do not know what you're capable of, and I do not know when you have a strong helping hand, will you be able to go out there and do the things that I say to do that makes you a successful real estate investor. Nobody can predict that. I know what the averages are. I know what happens with all the people that I engage with that actually do what I'm telling them to do, and they do really well. But for you, I have no earthly idea. You may not make one dime. So I want to say that straight out. You're going to have to engage in this, and you need to have some strong, clear amount of understanding so that you can see how easy, how no more than a 6th grade level education it is to do the simple deals in the very basics of this program. And so once you get the basics down and you're doing those kind of deals, then I offer up the more advanced training, the things that are a little bit more complicated, but not really too much more complicated. I don't like to throw a whole lot of different things at you at one time because I don't want you to get confused. My desire is for you to make as much money as you possibly can, as quick as you can,
so that then you can have a much more comfortable life. You can let go of the job. If you want to let go of the job, you might want to just keep the job. Nothing says that just because you're making all this money, you got to quit something else that you may enjoy doing. So take a look at those hours again. So if you go the 50-hour rate, that's $350 per hour. That's a huge discount from the 5-hour rate. There shouldn't be any reason at all where we can't do several deals with 50 hours of mentoring time. Okay? All right, so what I want you to do is click on that button right there to go ahead and go to the order page so that you can choose what number of hours that you want to purchase. Again, I strongly recommend, I'll come back to it again, I strongly recommend you do the 50-hour piece here. So make sure that you're focused on that if you can. If you can't, I understand you doing fewer hours in the beginning, but do your best, because once you've purchased it at the 50-hour rate, any hours you buy after that 50 hours is still at the 50-hour rate. If you purchase the 5-hour rate and then you buy a couple more hours later, you're still at the 5-hour rate. But if you buy 5 hours and then later on you buy 10 hours, then it drops down to anytime you buy any hours in the future, it's at the 10-hour rate. So it's based on how many hours you bought in a one-time purchase, and I drop you into the lowest one possible based on your initial purchase. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it makes it really clear for you to understand it. You can contact us at our phone numbers. You can go to our websites. You can email us. All the information is right there on the page. All right, y'all take care now.